Joining me now is Arizona Republican Congressman Andy Biggs. And I'll go right to it, Congressman. We have this extraordinary story of a $35 million package. It's unclear whether it's a loan or a complete giveaway to which came from the CARES Act, by the way, and then went through the California government to a Democrat consulting firm that is linked to Joe Biden. This is outrageous. This money is not supposed to go to organizations like that.
Well, David, you're exactly right. And when you release that much money, as that was $2+ trillion, you don't always have the accountability you're supposed to have. So what we have here is the California Secretary of State, Secretary Padilla, and he does. Here's the problems. You're not supposed to use HAVA money, which is Help America Vote Act's money, to do voter outreach and voter contact at any time, regardless of where the source of the money is, and specifically here, so he awards a $35 million no-bid accelerated contract to a firm associated with the Biden family. And you know, that smells bad right on the face of it, but it's $35 million. $35 million that should have been going to ostensibly to small business owners that are in trouble. And this is very, very disturbing. And that's why Republicans are asking for an Inspector General report immediately on this.
Well, the idea, the $35 million, when there are Americans who are struggling desperately, who you know, at most might need $20,000, $30,000 to keep their small business alive. There are a lot of Americans who feel the swamp is benefiting from these COVID relief bills, and they are not, even though they are taxpayers like everybody else. There was one guy in Michigan, a small business owner in Michigan, who just couldn't take it anymore. He had to get it out in front of a camera, and we have the soundbite. Play the soundbite and get the Congress's reaction after.
Our government leaders have abandoned me.
Are you the owner?
$4 trillion of stimulus money. They gave it to who? Special interest groups and campaign donors. Wake up, stand up. This is America. Be free. Give us the money to shut this thing down and calm this virus, but don't take it out on a select few.
This guy has it exactly right, more than any of the geniuses inside the Beltway, no offense, but this guy knows what's going on, and this $35 million is just an example of that.
No, David, he's exactly right. The problem with that $2 trillion package is it went all over the place without any accountability. If you're going to provide relief, then the place where I suggested that we do is we should target that relief to the small business men and women who, by the way, about half of them are going paycheck to paycheck, month to month. And you know what? We are seeing lockdowns at the state and local levels, and there is no accountability. As they begin locking them down, then they come to the feds and say, you guys need to bail them out. The reality is, if you begin to say, we're going to be free and let Americans make assessment on the risk, people will be able to determine, I'm going to go this place, I don't, or I'm not, based on the risk. And guess what? The economy has so much room to grow because so much has been locked down. But you and I both know you can go to virtually any main street in America and you're going to see 2 or 3 restaurants that are closed out of 5. You're going to see half the other retailers closed. And it's because whatever help was supposed to be given to them, they weren't able to get, or they weren't able to last until they could get the help.
Well, Congressman, I suspect that man, his name is Dave Morris, by the way. I would suspect that he needs a lot less than $35 million. But from my taxpayer perspective, I would be willing to give him every penny of that $35 million that went to a political consulting firm. And if they had any shame at all, they would write a check right now and send it to Dave Morris. Send that money to people who deserve it, to the hardcore American business community, small business community that is the backbone of the American economy. They need the money. Not political consultants. I mean, it's just outrageous. You think you've heard the worst, and then something like this happens. Congressman, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.